It's time for Top That Trade. Here to brighten up our lives, Phil Flynn, a Fox Business Network contributor, and Alan Nuckman, the chief market strategist at BullseyeOption.com. Here we go, guys. Round number one, snack diet. The thought is that diet drugs could damage junk food demand. Do you think there are any stocks that might wither away or fatten up?
Well, first off, to think that America is not going to continue to eat junk food, this is America, people. Junk food is in our DNA. But the reality is that these drugs, lessen demand. I guess they dampen your appetite. I don't see that happening to me anytime soon. But if you look at these things, Ozempic, Minerval, they're going to have impacts down the road if you look at things like kidney disease or something like that, that end up being issues for weighty people. So that might hurt some of those stocks. But at the same time, Eli Lilly that makes the insulin, they also make one of these drugs to sell. So they're going to make it on coming and going. So Eli Lilly is a stock that I like. I don't think somebody like PepsiCo is going to suffer at all when it comes to snacks in America.
That's why I love this stock. Novo Nordisk, I think this stock has a long way to go. And I think that now that doctors have cracked the code, I think it's going to open the door to a lot more types of weight loss drugs. And that's going to be good for everybody. And even the snack food companies are going to do okay. They're just going to have to sell smaller portions.
Speaking of smaller portions, how about those rates? Round number two, Fed finale. The market says there's a 98% chance rates will be lower by the end of 2024. What does that mean for consumers and the market?
So I think it's time. I think the Fed is right. It's time to cool it off. And the market's already telling them it's time.
This is the end, and it's a beginning for stocks. And I see S&P 5,000 because we've been trading between 4,200 and 4,600 here in the S&P, a breakout of this range here in this midpoint, 4,400. That targets breakout above 4,600, and that means S&P 5,000. Woo-hoo!
Round number three, bank billions. Are bank earnings overestimated or underestimated to kick off the reporting season? And is there a bankable trade?
Well, I don't think you make money by figuring out whether they're overestimated or underestimated. What you want to see is how the market's going to react. And I think banks have seen a pause and kind of a lack of attention for a while. I think they've got longer term upside. They've been able to make some great money with these rates and lending out, paying depositors a small amount compared to what they take in as far as interest goes. What I'm focusing on is the future. If you look at Q1, we're expecting 12% earnings growth, and Q2, 12% earnings growth. And that's with that 5% revenue growth. So a lot of positives are coming up in the future.
There are a lot of traders, though, that really make their entire trading portfolio based upon whether the companies are going to beat or miss earnings. And I mean, it could be a one-day trade. It could be a two-day trade. It could be a way to enter a position trade into a sector. And we know with the banks, it's been the best of times, the worst of times, right? We've got rising interest rates. They should be making money hands over fist. But at the same time, they have to pay record amounts of interest. And some banks aren't prepared to do that, especially the way that they manage their portfolio. You also have banks that should be making a lot of money on loans. The problem is they might be writing less loans because interest rates are so high. So it's a balance. But I think in this case, if I were going to bet, I believe the banks are going to beat because I do think expectations because of previous banking issues have lowered expectations. So pick them. I think it's a pick to click on the banking stocks after the earnings.
Sticking with the banking theme, here's a bonus round question. Which of the following services is not provided by JP Morgan Chase? Banking, investing, divorce services, and credit cards.
He's not in investing.
Divorce services is what I think. But, I want to know, why can't I get a toaster like we used to when I was a kid, right?
That's funny, Phil. And you are correct. JP Morgan Chase is not into divorce services. And Alan, I think there might have been an audio issue, but you are correct about your GE answer as well. Business First, Dan will be right back after this.